Welcome to my tent, young adventurers. Today I will recount you of all the knowledge I have on the confusing history of changelings. The first ever playable changeling race was in the Eberron campaign setting book in 2004. Set to be played in 3.5, then being adapted for 4th and 5th edition. Eberron is a campaign setting different from previous campaign settings such as the Forgotten Realms, Greyhawk, and Dragonlance, in that the fundamental structure of the world was different than a typical fantasy. Many changes were added through this campaign book. It introduced 4 new playable races: the Warforged, Kalashtar, Shifters, and of course, the Changeling. It even added the new playable class, one that blew all the others out of the water, one that made you a powerful, intellectual magic caster with all sorts of crazy infusion magic, the Artificer. And then it got booted in 5th edition. Changelings are humanoid creatures that can change their appearance on the spot, trying their best to mimic the appearance of anyone they have seen before. Typically, they live among humans, elves, and other humanish races. Their beliefs and ideals vary widely, with some believing on finding one form to stick to and blend in with, and others believing they need to have the most shapes and forms to take as possible. They do only have one deity they follow, though, with most other changelings just following other religions to blend in with their characters better. Most changelings are raised with the knowledge of the deity known as the Traveler, a chaotic neutral or unaligned deity of the Dark Six. Sounds pretty evil, right? Well, turns out when you have the ability to get away with almost any crime, you can be pretty evil. And I'm just going to go ahead and just stop this video a little right here, because I'm just going to say I put a lot of work into this video, guys. I had a lot of fun making this video too. So, if that sub button right down there, if it's all red, just make it not, alright? Just make it not. But back to our video. Some of the most notable changelings in history either were kings, important roles in fate, or became famous and technically not even existing, just being played by multiple people pretending to be a changeling. But, hold on, I'm gonna confuse you a little more. One of the pretender changelings was Ek, also known as the Tyrant. So, yeah, most notable changelings fall into position of high power. Changeling history also tends to be a little confusing. First thought to have been descendants from humans and doppelgangers, hugging really hard. It is never really stated anywhere the actual history of the changelings. But even though doppelgangers have been in the game since 1st edition, and changelings were added in 3.5, the changeling race has been here long before the doppelgangers. In fact, the history of the doppelgangers eventually stated they were twisted changelings created by the Dalekar, a monstrous being that exists in one of the other realms of hell. So if changelings came first, what is their true origin? I go with the more simplistic route of they were simply just another humanoid race, like elves or tieflings, but the magic they were born with and naturally can manipulate is a form of some kind of illusionary magic, such as a tiefling with hellfire or wood elf with nature. But what are your thoughts? If you made it this far and there's anything you think I missed or just have your own theory, leave it in the comment below. I promise I'll respond, and until the next time, adventurer, have a nice day, 'cause you know I will.